Warning: the following video discusses violence, assassination, and other graphic topics. It may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised, and please keep the comment section respectful. Now, this isn't my usual kind of video, as returning viewers and subscribers from the channel would be well aware. Normally I make much lighter, entertainment-based stuff, be it through gaming, through mashups, through various forms of just regular entertainment, I guess. But in light of everything that's just happened over the last few days, I feel like I need to talk about it. It's been really weighing up my mind. I feel like I need to talk about it. The assassination of Charlie Kirk has shaken me a lot more than I had expected it would after having seen the video. And I do want to make one thing really clear before I get going, is I didn't agree with a majority of his takes. In fact, part of the reason I followed him was precisely because I disagreed with him. The same way I follow Ben Shapiro, Shad Brooks, Sargon of Akkad, and Nigel Farage. I think it's healthy to challenge your own ideas. But that's exactly why this feels so sinister. Because whatever you thought of Kirk, he wasn't an inherently violent man. I've seen some people online saying that his rhetoric was inherently violent. But let's be clear. The dictionary defines violence as behaviour involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone. Words, no matter how much you disdain them, are never violence. I can say that with absolute confidence. As a teenager, I was stabbed. I've fought in professional combat sports. I know what real violence feels like. It's brutal, it's physical, and it leaves scars on the body. A heated conversation or a debate, even one that makes your blood boil, is not violence. Conversation never is. Now, I will be honest, I really disliked his debating style. He had a way of pulling in people who were emotional or less informed, using topics that bordered on rage bait to score, I guess we'll call them easy wins. And yeah, it was really frustrating to watch. But in a weird way, that made it so much more satisfying when someone who had the knowledge and the intellect and the conversational skills required in order to actually push back and challenge him. Because that's how dialogue sharpens ideas. And that is the essence of what free speech is all about, in my opinion. And that's why seeing him killed merely for his words feels so deeply wrong to me. I've always believed growing up that here in the West, our way of solving problems was discourse. We'd argue, debate, maybe even yell at each other sometimes. But at the end of the day, we went home and we tried again tomorrow. Not this. Not assassination. And what makes me even more unsettled is the wider pattern in the world. There's been an attempt on Trump. There's been successful assassinations of Democrat politicians recently too, that isn't really seeing the news. And now Charlie Kirk. My concern here isn't just about one man. It's part of a growing sickness here in the West, where we're replacing dialogue with violence. And it horrifies me. I've seen a lot of people, including some of my fellow Muslims, and some on the extreme left or pro-Palestine groups, saying that the quote-unquote real problem is in Gaza, not this. And look, they're right. Realistically, on the world stage, the genocide in Gaza, because that's what it is a genocide, it should probably be the world's focus right now, and what the world should get behind to fix somehow. But saying that what has happened here is wrong and disturbing doesn't mean that what is happening there isn't too. Because it does. Because if we let political violence become normal here, then what's left of our values? On a bit of a more personal note, one thing that really chilled me was Kirk's final tweet. I believe it was his final tweet, where he said, "Islam is the sword that the left will use to slit the throat of America," or something to that effect. I won't pretend that didn't sting. As a Muslim, that's hard to hear, even if I'm not the best Muslim. But instead of responding with anger, I wanted to respond with compassion. Because to me, my faith isn't about slitting throats. It's about mercy. It's about dignity and the sanctity of life. That's why I chose to open this video with Surah 532, a verse that says, "Whoever kills a soul, it's as though they've killed all of mankind. And whoever saves one, it's as though he saved mankind entirely." That verse itself was actually one of the reasons I came to Islam in the first place. I saw it printed on a billboard in the London Underground years ago, and it stopped me in my tracks. It even still moves me today, and it feels like the best possible answer to what's just happened. So this isn't a political video. I'm not here to score points. I'm just doing this because I'm shaken up a bit, weirdly, by the death of a man I never knew. And because I believe words matter. I believe dialogue matters. And I believe life, no matter how much you agree with their or disagree with their views, matters. I don't know where we go from here, but I do know this. If we abandon discourse for violence, we lose everything that makes us human. And I'm not going to accept that. In the weirdest of ways, it actually makes me think of a line from Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones. "A mind needs books as a sword needs a whetstone." Because the mind is like a sword. It only stays sharp when it's tested, challenged, and honed. And that's what dialogue does. That's what free speech does. And that is the kind of sharpening we need now more than ever.